every human being has a passion, and he just discovers it one day. I discovered it when I started photographing my children, and then I started taking them to the garden, and then I got acquainted with nature in the garden. And then through that garden I got acquainted with people in the garden, and I also got acquainted with architecture in the garden. So that's how I got into various fields of photography, but the inspiration came from my children, and through them they led me into nature, people and architecture. Once I started looking at these various avenues, I finally chose landscape as the area that I could relate best to. And I set out to start taking pictures, and my forte became in the landscape photography.
What was the landscape that attracted you most?
Landscape was the spirituality that is God's creation and not man-made, and secondly the purity of it, because it's not polluted in the sense like there is no man element in it that has kind of changed it to a certain sense.
Was it the color, the pattern, or the...
Of course, I mean landscape, the shape, color, aesthetic sense, and it's kind of boosted my creativity to a large extent.
What was the first camera you used?
The first camera that I used was a Kodak camera. It was given by my grandfather. It was a box camera. That was in 1965. Those are the simple cameras we used to have in India. Yeah, it was in black and white. Oro was the film that was produced in India at that time. And then we upgraded to Agfa. And black and white is really amazing because you can evaluate contrast and evaluate the tone scales better with black and white photography. Especially, you can research between black and white, but it's called black and white, but you end up looking and understanding gray better than black and white.
What about formal training in photography? Did you ever have...
I'm self-taught. Books is my basic teacher. And my own experience and my mistakes is my way of correcting myself. And I'm always ready to learn because I understand that the first step is to make a mistake and correct yourself. And once you correct yourself, you can learn and improve.
And how do you evolve in photography?
Yes, one of my pioneers in photography is Ansel Adams, who's a landscape photographer. Naturally, in my office, these prints are originals of Ansel Adams. They are over $1,000 a print, and they are first copies of his actual photographs. I've always been inspired by his work because of its simplicity. And in those days, though he's not alive now, but in those days it was absolutely amazing the quality of work that he could produce from this.
And then when did you start taking serious, not just as a hobby, but then when you...
Well, people around the world started appreciating my work, and that kind of led to me to understand that it was extremely important. That recognition slowly came about, and that inspired me even more to devote more time and more effort towards it.
How did that happen?
That happens when you see the picture yourself and you hold it between your fingers. You get the feel and the sensation of actually creating something that was there within your hands, and that's how you feel the connection between you and what you photograph through the picture.
How did other people get to know about your work?
Other people got to know about my work because when I came to the Middle East, there were not many landscape
That was
photographers.
in 89.
Right, and there's still not many landscape photographers out there. So, you can, at that time, the situation was such that it was something new out. And because I was touching a subject that was really never examined out here, and publication was not that great, images was something as a strong medium to explain to people what was happening around the world at that time.
So So you used to exhibit your work?
Yes, I exhibited. I got the first presentation of World Press Photo to Dubai, and I had the exhibition at the first photographic exhibition in Dubai that was held at the this World Trade Center.
When was it?
This was the first issue, I think, 1990. After that World Press Photo, I got involved with, and then I got involved with the World Wildlife Fund. And through the World Wildlife Fund, I was able to get some good coverage, and I was instrumental in setting up the first World Wildlife Office here in Dubai. And we got a degree passed by the late Sheikh Zayed, and he understood that environment was an issue that had to be dealt with on a long-term basis for this country. And we started, and my company was the first corporate company to support the environmental issue with WWF and to join the World Wildlife Corporate Club out here. I work very closely with them. Recently we were invited to help them with the launching of the issue of plastic bags. A lot of plastic bags around in this part of the world, and how to deal with it.
Oh, that was very specific?
Yeah, it was launched, and then Abu Dhabi government is very interested in that kind of a campaign, because they see from an environmental point of view that the plastic bags issue is something that needs to be addressed, and the Swiss government was involved in this project as well.
What way?
Actually, the Consul General, his wife was involved in this, and WWF, she had written to them that this is what we're interested in, and they wanted me to, she said that, I work very closely with WWF, and therefore, in that situation, it's better to take care of it.
So when did you start teaching photography? Where was it?
14 years ago I started teaching, just when Gorbachev opened up Eastern Europe. At that time I was able to penetrate to Ukraine at the Shevchenko Institute of Photojournalism, and I was in a position to give my first lecture out there, which was very well received by the students. And I've been teaching there for the last 14 years, and now I'm a professor at the Institute of Photojournalism. Shevchenko University is more than 175 years old. I then moved forward into teaching in Kyrgyzstan, which is in Central Asia, in the city of Bishkek at the American University. This university was set up with a grant that was arranged by Vijay Mohan, and it's the only American university speaking for all the 5 Central Asian countries, over a population of 130 million. And I was visiting them, and I do visit them very often with the idea of conducting classes and giving them exposure towards the field of photojournalism.
So you have students from 5 countries?
Yes, I have students not only from Kyrgyzstan but also from Turkmenistan, as well as from Tajikistan, from Uzbekistan, and from Kazakhstan. So all these 5 countries, that's over 100 million people, they have the students who are studying at this university. It's on the same lines as American University in Dubai or in Sharjah.
So from nature photography to fashion, how was
the trend changed into fashion, because I have traveled more than 93 countries, and having done 93 countries, internship program for over 200 students in the field of fashion.
Where is it?
It's in the city of Kyiv, in Ukraine. What led me into it was having traveled so much around the world, and having visited so many cities, and having visited so many places, I decided that I would like to venture in a new avenue rather than landscape, because I mastered landscape, though I'm still a student like all of us are. But I also was very familiar and very good at dealing with flowers. So the combination of flowers and landscape brought me to the concept of beauty, and I started looking at beauty in human beings, not only in the man but also in the woman as well. Finding the beauty in the woman, I discovered that fashion is something that I'd like to, that I could relate with. And now I'm working with fashion designers in Central Asia as well as in Dubai, one of whom we've already covered, Tanya actually. And so we do, we also do a lot of our garments for, with my students. So it's a kind of a good synergy where we have the students, upcoming models who are trained, and then use our equipment. And in the show you'll also meet one of our super magicians, who's Shinan Rashti, who's also of Iranian origin but an Australian citizen who helps me with all my makeup work. And really happy to speak on the show.